Hello, I'm Stephanie Best, and welcome to TMN Television on February 23rd. Tonight, we look at Sue Thomas and her selection as the next president of Truman State University. We also look at the changes that have come from new management at Tru-Yo. And later, stay tuned for our Truman Sports Update. These stories and more on TMN Television. You don't want to miss this. Earlier this month, Sue Thomas was selected by the Board of Governors of Truman State University to act as its next president. The former Executive Vice President of Academic Affairs is currently in the process of transitioning to her new role as president, which she will begin March 1st. Thomas credits her selection because of her experience working with former President Troy Pano, as well as her brief tenure serving as the interim president since July 2016. Thomas says while the university faces monetary challenges going forward, it is imperative that they be addressed in a fashion which allows for Truman to continue to succeed.
We're going to approach this as how do we reallocate money to make sure we are putting our money where we want to go for Truman. Part of it's going to have to reallocate to budget cuts, but others of it are going to make sure that we're still continuing to offer the very best education there is in the state.
The Truman administration recently disclosed to the Truman Media Network they spent a little over $157,000 on the presidential search process, according to the Truman Institutional Support Budget for fiscal year 2017. Around $138,000 of this money went towards consulting services such as teleconferences, advertising, travel expenses, background checks, and degree checks. The other $19,000 went towards campus constituent group meetings with the Presidential Search Committee, stakeholders, committee, and Board of Governors, as well as lodging and meals for the semifinalist and finalist candidates in the search process. Dave Rector, Vice President for Administration, Finance, and Planning, says the money to fund this search was set aside shortly after former University President Troy Pano resigned and was taken from a portion of Truman's 2017 fiscal budget called institutional support. Rector says the money has almost been paid back in full, except for a few remaining travel expenses. University President Sue Thomas sent out an email on February 13th stating Truman will be implementing a $50 surcharge that all full-time students will be required to pay this semester. There is an exception of a few students who are unable to pay the fee, who will have their fee paid by a grant. This $50 surcharge will cover the cost of 8% of the money Truman has lost in its statewide budget cuts, while the other 92% of the money will be taken from central funds of the university that go towards updating equipment and other one-time costs. President Sue Thomas says if the $50 surcharge had not been implemented, money from the university's operating budget would have to be cut, which would dramatically decrease funding towards university departments. Coming up, we take a look at changes that are being made at Tru-Yo. But first, let's take a look at this week's forecast.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia?
Let's do it.
What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year?
Huh.
The answer? 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
Recently, the frozen yogurt shop Tru-Yo underwent new management. The grand opening has been tentatively set for April 8th and will offer made-to-order sandwiches along with set pricing on yogurt cups. New owner Denise Bailey says that flavors in the shop will change often and they will provide a sugar-free and dairy-free option. Bailey says to better appeal to Truman students, there will be a rewards program and yogurt eating challenges. Bailey says her and her husband decided to take over managing the store after a conversation with the previous owner. They have high hopes for plugging into the Kirksville community with the new changes.
Well, we were on a mission trip with Jim in Africa, and we kind of talked about it there a little bit and came back home and decided to take the leap of faith and move to Kirksville.
We had the chance to try a taste of traditional German cuisine this week. German chef Murat Ayer visited Truman as part of Sodexo's Global Chef program. Ayer prepared a 4-course meal to serve at a luncheon for selected students and faculty on Monday. During the luncheon, Ayer explained to guests many of the ingredients used in the meal are traditional German foods. Ayer and Truman Sodexo executive chef Enoch Rutherford also created a menu of German foods that were served to students in the dining halls on Tuesday. Truman hosts a visiting chef every 2 years as part of the Global Chef program. This weekend, Phi Mu Alpha will host its 49th annual Jazz Festival. The festival has been continually ranked one of the top jazz festivals in the nation, bringing in high school and middle school bands from across the Midwest. Every year, the festival features a guest artist who conducts a clinic and performs with the Truman Jazz Ensemble. This year's guest artist is Carl Allen, a New York-based drummer and band leader. The festival will begin Saturday morning and continue throughout the day, ending with the Jazz Festival evening concert at 8 in the Georgian Rooms. A new Hampton Suites hotel is currently under construction on North Baltimore Street near Walmart and Ruby Tuesday. The hotel will have 70 guest rooms and employ 20 people. Hotel construction is estimated to be finished in late spring or early summer. Assistant City Manager Ashley Young says Kirksville has seen a need for a new hotel, and the city hopes it will increase traffic in the community and make Kirksville become more of a destination. 170 headstones were damaged in a Jewish St. Louis cemetery, according to CNN. The damage was first reported to police the morning of February 20th. Vice President Mike Pence and Missouri Governor Eric Greitens visited the site together on the 22nd and helped to clean up the cemetery. Also, according to CNN, a fundraiser was launched by 2 Muslim American activists in order to fund repairs for the damaged headstones. The goal was $20,000. It has already surpassed its goal, and they are now trying to support Jewish community centers who have been targets of recent anti-Semitism. Stay tuned for your Truman Sports Update. We'll be right back.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know. Come alive with the forest. The dad was cute.
They were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
As always, your Truman Sports Update is brought to you by Hardee's. The women's basketball team is taking on the Quincy University Hawks as we speak in the Pershing Arena for their regular season finale. The Bulldogs have gone on a hot streak recently, earning them a spot in the GLVC tournament. Truman currently sits in a 4-way tie for 6th place in the GLVC standings, meaning there will likely be several tie-breaking games played before the start of the conference tournament. The men's basketball team will take on Quincy University tonight at 7:30 p.m. in the Pershing Arena. The game will be the season finale for both teams before heading into the conference tournament. Quincy currently sits at the top of the GLVC West, while Truman sits 1 game behind them. A win for Truman would earn them a piece of the GLVC West Division title. The Bulldogs played Quincy earlier this season, losing in a tightly contested 91-90 game. This has been your Truman Sports Update by Hardee's. Stay tuned after the break. We'll be right back.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Thank you for tuning in with us tonight. For complete news coverage, be sure to stay tuned to KTRM and pick up a copy of the Index. Also, check out our news content on tmn.truman.edu. Also, be sure to check out the new variety show segments. You can also follow TMN on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for breaking news and updates. And if you missed part of our broadcast tonight, check out TMN TV on YouTube. From all of us at TMN, thank you for tuning in and have a great rest of the week.